I'm mildly devastated because I swear to God I like recorded half this video without realizing it wasn't recorded. And I also recorded like a significant amount and then got interrupted by my family because my uncle wanted me to help him understand how to use Facebook Marketplace. I was mildly frustrated, but the good news is I'm more familiar with this photo album than I was before, which is good. I guess this is the plight of a content creator, is losing all your work, all your progress. Obviously I could have continued, but like I'm gonna be honest, I don't edit my videos because my computer crashes every time I try to like import and export videos from, editing software. So thank you my 2016 MacBook Pro. Thank you. I mean, it's really good, no complaints, really good for school and stuff, but like, you people with like your PCs, I'm probably gonna back me up on its ability to be a good tool to actually like do anything but use Google Docs. It's like a little bit of a glorified Chromebook. Okay. Which you can also use iMessage on. Anyway. So today I wanted to show you guys this photo album that I found at my grandma's house. I'm at my grandma's house right now. That I found of my dad as a kid. Which is very cool in itself because I love blasts from the past. There's this woman who makes like videos of magazines from the past. I'll link her in my description because I think they're so cool. But the really cool thing about this is that my dad grew up in the Soviet Union. My family's from the Soviet Union, and I think it's fascinating to like, it's one thing I've kind of got used to my whole life knowing that my family grew up in a drastically different environment than I did, in a different social, what's the word? Social system, I guess. Like, pretty dystopian world, to be perfectly honest. So I just find this so fascinating. My dad was born in 1980, so although I think it's, pretty more recent than it might look, I heard the Soviet Union was always about 10 years behind in terms of technology than the rest of the Western world. So, I don't know. I find old things so cool. Something about, like, it's so, creepy in a very cool way of, like, especially, I mean, now that pictures that we take essentially look like how real life looks, I feel like maybe it'll be, it won't feel so eerie for, future generations looking back on TikTok dances and whatnot that really portray the, livelihoods, the way we live our lives now. But, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So I think like the way pictures were taken in black and white and then on film, and all of that, just like it makes things look so out of this world. And I could stare at pictures from the past forever. Anyway, so without further ado, let's get started on this look into my dad's childhood as well as a childhood in the Soviet Union. I want to mention that, I mean, I'm not an expert in the Soviet Union, but from what I understand, it was, kind of impossible to be wealthy, but, you were, depending on what job you had more or less social connections, which would allow you to live, differently, get more things, live in better places. So I want to mention that, my dad's side of the family, my grandparents were doctors, so I mean, they weren't doctors, I think, when they had him, because they were very young, but they were 20, I think. So I want to mention that maybe what is portrayed here isn't the exact, the exact experience of every person in the Soviet Union. The other side of my family were Jewish, and anti-Semitism was very extreme in the Soviet Union, so they definitely had a much harder life. So if this looks like, not as, I guess, bad as some people may think it is. Just know that this is like one experience of one family that was pretty privileged. So, okay. Let's get started. I have this pen to help me mark things. Okay. So, this says наш ребенок, our child. Фотографии и записи. That means photographs, and I think записи means like written notes or something like that. I'm not entirely sure, you guys. My Russian isn't as good as it used to be. It was my first language, but obviously, with time and time, I saw my, Russian-speaking family less and less, and especially having moved to college a couple years ago, I really rarely speak in Russian. So, although I am taking it next fall, so I'm excited. Learning second languages is super cool, and just like having the ability to communicate with so many more people than you could if you didn't speak that language, I think is just like amazing. Anyway, sorry, I'm like really rambling, but we're never gonna get through all of this. Maybe I'll make a part 2. Okay, so this is my dad at 9 months. It says 9 месяцев. So he's doing his little, look how smiley he is, isn't that cute? I really feel like I should find a picture of myself as a baby so I could put it side by side. I should have done that before I started filming again. I really had that idea last time. I mean, all babies look pretty similar, but I think I look a lot like my dad. So, this says число 19-го, день воскресенья, месяц октября, 1980. So that means like the day is the 19th, the day is Sunday, and the month is October 1980. So that's the day he was born. So that's his name. I'm not gonna read it for privacy purposes. Obviously, it's like right there. So if you read it, it's a very common Russian name. So I mean, like you're still not gonna be able to harass my poor father. But nonetheless, I'm just gonna not like repetitively say it if I don't have to. Okay. Свидетельство о рождении. 11. So this basically, I'm pretty sure means like the witness to the birth, but I'm not sure. The thing about my grandma's handwriting is it was very pretty, but it's very hard for me to read because Russian, like same with the English, English, what is it called? Regular, I just had a small burp, so I hope you didn't hear that, but anyway, regular, like writing versus cursive, the letters are very different, and also like Russian cursive is just so, why can't I think of words today? The Russian cursive is very like, fancy is the wrong word, very embellished, I guess, so it's hard to read if you're not used to it. Even when I went to Russian school and stuff like that, I always still struggled to read like genuine Russian adult handwriting. They all have the same handwriting, I feel like, in cursive. Okay, прививки. This is the vaccines he got at different months and ages. So it shows you what vaccines he got, which I think is really interesting. I need to ask my grandma what these actually are. Excuse me, sorry, I don't know what's happening, but I needed to burp again. Anyway, I don't want to be a hypocrite because I keep telling my sister, it's like younger than me, that like it's not appropriate to just like burp in public and not apologize, or just like, anyway, I don't want to be a hypocrite. Okay, so ростри, I don't know if that's like a weird like ASMR thing where like people like burps, but like you guys, I'm not there yet. Not enough self-acceptance there. Okay. Рост ребенка. Длина мела при рождении. So this is like, I guess, it says before birth. I don't know how the heck they measured him. Or like at birth, I guess. So yeah, this probably means at birth. Because how would they measure him before birth unless like an ultrasound? But like, that seems very precise. Okay. So, this is at his birth. He was 50 centimeters. And then it goes, with his age. And then at a year and a half, he's at 81 to 82 centimeters. this is like a fascinating thing that this book doesn't mention, this, album, because it wasn't even like something they thought about. But at this point, I don't know about how in the United States whether epidurals were, available or common practice, but at this time in the Soviet Union, you were not given pain medication during, childbirth. As a woman, you weren't giving pain medication, so it was just, quote unquote natural births. But that's what my grandma told me a while ago, and that's what I remember. So like, if that's not true, and that just happens to be my grandma's experience, don't quote me on that, but like that's what I understand based on what my grandma told me. And also, you weren't allowed to bring people in with you. So like, a woman would go and have a child by herself, and her family would then like be notified that she had given birth. Which is really interesting, because I feel like, wouldn't that be terrifying? Like, people would have children very young, right? Like, my grandma was, I think, either 20 or 21. And you're like by yourself giving natural birth to like this child. And imagine if you're having like triplets. Oh my god. And you have like no support of anyone you love. I would like literally never have a child. So anyway, enough about that. Okay, so this is the weight of the child. Yes, again. So it gets through, it's weight. I'm like trying to low-key like hurry a little bit, because I don't even know how much storage my phone has. And like, if it stops recording again, I'm actually gonna cry, you guys. I'm gonna cry. You don't understand. Okay. So the weight of the child. And so this, so it says from 3 to 7 years old, it's good to measure a child's weight 2 times a year. Good, usually in the spring and in the beginning of fall. I wonder why. I wonder if, maybe because, obviously winters were really intense, especially where my grandparents were from. And I wonder if it has to do with like when their weight is probably most consistent. I don't know if you know what I mean, or like the most reflective of like their actual progression, and they're not, eating less or more because it's summer or winter, and there's like certain availability of food and nutrients. Because it was really hard to get, food in a consistent supply, especially of healthy food. So people would, eat a lot of like buckwheat and sausages and stuff like that. So unless you kind of had a dacha, which means like a place in the village, in like the country, people would have like a house, or like their family would have a house or something that someone would live in, and then you would have like, farm animals, and you'd grow stuff. And unless you had like your own, way to get produce, to make produce, grow produce, and then like preserve for winter, probably wouldn't be getting that many nutrients if you were, not in that position. It's really interesting. My mom, grew up in Novosibirsk, which is in Siberia, and she, ate very poorly she moved here when she was 12, so like until that point she had very poor, she was very malnourished in terms of vitamins and such, because she just did not like have access. It's very cold there in, Siberia. It's, very, very cold. So, not a lot of produce, and, they were Jewish, so again, a lot of anti-Semitism that prevented them from getting jobs. And now she has severe, like stomach problems. And obviously, like, people have stomach problems without, going through that, so you can't say, but the nutrition you get as a child can really affect, I think, the way your stomach develops and stuff like that. So we kind of think it might be because, she didn't, get those nutrients as a child. So now probably her stomach can't absorb a lot of foods. Something like that. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. Just my own musings and my mom's musings, who is also not a scientist, but is also a person who likes to, muse. So this is the школьные годы, which means the years before school. I tried to read this when I first tried to make this video, and honestly, like, it wasn't super legible. I mean, kind of want to move on to like the more interesting photographs and stuff that are more, I think you guys will, be more interested in. This is the years of school, and it said год поступления в школу, which is the year you started school, and it says 1965. So I think my grandma was like tripping out, probably meant like 1985, because if my dad was born in 1980, like how the heck did he like go to school in 1965? Okay, so первое посещение ребенка, which means his first like reaction to school, and here basically says that my dad really enjoyed school. He really enjoyed school, which doesn't surprise me because he's like my dad is very, very smart, very, very smart. He's very into like academia and stuff, so I think from an early age he was really, really into like learning just for the sake of absorbing knowledge, which I think is really cool, and I wish I absorbed more of that. Okay. Поступление в пионеры, which means the entrance into pionere, and I don't remember exactly what it is. It's essentially, it's for kids. It's either like Girl Scout, Boy Scout thing, or it's like a certain grade in school you enter and become this thing called pionere. But it's very prestigious in terms of like, they would dress really fancy, and people would take a lot of pride in their kids being, that I don't think it was like necessarily exclusive. It's more like people just took a lot of pride in their children being part of this thing. And I could be wrong, I feel like maybe even everyone did it, but it was just like, I think when you don't have a lot as a people, like the little things you really just like appreciate. I don't know. Okay, this says how do they celebrate, and вступление в VLKSM. I don't know what that means. I'll have to look that up. I really don't know. But I really wish my grandma's handwriting was easier to read, you guys, so I could like clue you in more on what this says. Okay, when are we getting into the pictures? It's like interesting. What does this say? Первое школьное стихотвор. Первое школьное стихотвор. Стихотворение means poems. I'm not sure what стихотвор means. I would like, does it kind of mean poem? But what does it say? I don't know. I don't know. I'm so disappointed in myself. I really thought I could do better. Let me see what this says. This might be in English. This is like in his class of 1988 senior potluck, so not from the Soviet Union. I don't know what's in there. Okay, because he had moved to the U.S. by then, and the Soviet Union had fallen by then. Okay, so my dad being cute. Aww. So yeah, I love. Oh, this were like their like baby, what are they called? Baby carriages? No, like strollers. They're just so fancy. It's like so fancy. So fancy. This is my grandma. I really should have like scanned these for potentially PG-13 rated R pictures that are just natural, but I don't think YouTube will appreciate them. But anyway, so oh, so cute. Okay, I'm skipping too fast, I feel like. But where were we? Okay, so I don't know if you can see my head moving forward, but anyway, so that's my grandma. Oh, he's looking deathly cute. I really wonder how they were taking these photos, like what device they were taking them on. I'm very curious. I'm gonna have to ask her later. Okay. And I think that's a doll. I'm assuming it's a doll because I don't think a child would have such a full head of hair. So this literally looks like me as a child. I'll have to. I'm looking. Oh my god. There's like a There's literally an image of me, like, right here. I'm gonna pull it up. Give me 1 second. Here, what do you guys think? This is me. This was me as a baby. I know you guys didn't expect such a huge portrait, but I feel like pretty similar, you know? Like, look at this. Side by side. Look at that. You know? I'm not gonna lie, I feel like many babies look like that. And then this is my sister. This is my sister. So I feel like also very similar. She's younger than me by 4 years. She's gonna hate me for this. Number 1 supporter, just kidding. Okay. I don't know, what do you guys think? Oh, this fell out. Oops. Should probably be more delicate with this. This is like, hold on, my dad. I always have to do the math. I guess 43. So this is 43 years old. Isn't that crazy? Like, I can hug my dad, and this will be the same age as him. That's great. Pretty crazy, right? Okay. So, what an outfit. It's so fancy. Look at my grandma's coat. So fancy, so fancy, so fancy. And, little sleigh. These would be such good stock photos. Look how happy. And on his little car. So pudgy, so pudgy. Make it work, make it work. Alright. I mean, work it. Okay. I like this, like, hat combo. So fancy. I feel like people did not have many clothes, but the clothes they had were, you know, very good quality. So this is my dad, I think. I told you guys would get more interesting with the food. Okay. So this is my dad, with the Christmas tree and my grandma. Look at her, like, boots combo with the skirt. I'm really living for it. And then that's my dad to the right, and here, and here. So cute. Okay. This is my grandma and grandpa. I feel like this picture is so beautiful. I don't know. I love this picture. When people ask me what my grandparents look like, I always send them this picture, which, like, isn't really how they look anymore, obviously, but they're such a beautiful couple. They met in college when they were 16, in Russia. I don't know about now, but back then, you go to college when you're 16, and they've been together ever since. Okay. And this is, I think this might be when my uncle was born. He's 4 years younger than my dad. So I guess that'd be my dad and my uncle. Yeah, these definitely aren't really in, like, a great organized chronological way. But you know what, it's been 43 years, like, I'll give her a break, my grandma. I think they also fell apart. And, you know, obviously when they were moving here from the Soviet Union, they couldn't bring a lot of stuff, obviously, so it's really cool that, you know, she prioritized memories over probably physical objects. Okay, so that is my dad, and at this point, I'm gonna assume these are my dad, but, like, they could be my uncle, since I guess they're getting jumbled up. So that's my dad and my dad, and this is him. The playgrounds outside of, like, the apartments in Russia are just, like, they were really a vibe when I visited a long time. Okay, and so this was my great grandpa. I grew up with him, and I really, really loved him, and I'm very, you know, grateful that I got to be, you know, part of his, like, life, or he got to be a part of my life, both, I guess. And this is, I'm assuming, my dad with him. He was just one of the best people I've ever met. You know, he's just such a good person. And then over here, I accidentally touched the mic. And this is, what is he doing there? He has a little ball, and that's, I don't know how to, like, explain all these photos, because they're obviously, like, it's pretty self-explanatory what he's doing. I want to, you know, give you a chance to look at them. Okay. And then what's he doing here? Just smiling. And okay, is that my grandpa? He looks like a demon. I'm not sure. But yeah, living great. I'm assuming this is on the budget. Okay. And again, my grandma in her coat get up. I love that coat. She looks so happy. And my dad playing guitar. Pretty early. That'd be cool if it was my uncle, because my uncle, you know, like his whole life revolves around music. Oh, I said that in my last video because he was playing music, but he's a musician, so that'd be cool if that was him, because then he, you know, that could be like before or after, but no one would know anyway. My dad and my grandpa, just, this is great. And then, so that was, right here is like, he's doing a dancey dance, and petting a horse through snow. Oh, that horse is so beautiful. And then, just looking happy. Okay. That's my great-grandpa and my great-grandma. They passed away, within the last, like, 10 years, I think 7 years, 4 years, or something like that. And so, I guess at this point, my uncle was born. So my dad and my uncle, I feel like they even look similar. And, like, first picture in color so far. If he's, like, maybe 5 or 6, I guess that would be 85. Maybe school portrait. And so, like, when kids went to school, they dressed extremely formally. It's pretty crazy. They wore like ties and nice clothes every day, but it was a uniform. It was really interesting. Like, Russians really took a lot of pride in education back then. I really don't know about now, but at that time, like, education was just such a priority, and such a you know, it was just a point of pride for them. Okay. And so this, okay, so now I guess we are getting photos in color. So I wonder what they were taking these on, or like how they were printing them. But it's a lovely sweater. I'm guessing it's probably my uncle now. I don't know. So this is like literally the type of things they would wear to school. I don't know if this is the exact uniform, or if he was wearing this for like a special occasion, because, you know, he's holding flowers, so I'm guessing it was like a performance or something. But it's really crazy. So this is him at school, so I guess this is like what they would wear. They had all their school stuff. It was just, I mean, and teachers, I heard, could be really cruel too, so I was like, it's definitely a different time. So I don't know who that is. I don't know who that man is. I don't know what's happening here. So, okay, this is a good example of their school uniforms. The way the girls dressed was just like, they're really doing the most. This looks like my friend right here. So where's my dad? Where's my dad? Where is my dad's such hair? I think this is him. I think this is him right here. I think this is him. Yeah, okay. And then this fell out. I don't know where. I really did not account for this to be like. That's my grandma and her friend, I guess. It's my grandma's friend. And that's my dad. And then that's him. continuity purposes. Next time I look and forget about this. I'm pretty sure I've done this like 10 times. Every time I come to my grandma's, I'm fascinated by the photo albums. So I love this doll. It's really terrifying. But you know what? I love that my dad and maybe my uncle played with dolls. I just think that's like a great example of this little construct that is toys assigned to males or females. Or maybe that my dad was just a womanizer from day one. I don't know. So that's really cute. I guess this was their shower curtain because we've seen it in multiple photos. Okay. And what's this? What? So this is my dad, I think. And I don't know what this is. Maybe like a cousin or something. I love like the red tint, and I don't know if that happened more with age or that's how it was before, but and I guess my dad looks like he likes school less than the picture. But nonetheless, he's there with his flowers. I wonder if it was like first day of school because the flowers or something. I don't know. But nonetheless, I like it. Okay. And my grandpa and him. How cute. This say? Let me see what this is. I don't know. What does this say, guys? What does it say? It's like this. 1 сентября, 1st of September. They all started school on 1st of September, I'm pretty sure. I guess unless it was Saturday. Well, I'm pretty sure they also had school 6 days a week. So, like, they would also have school on Saturday, and I think they might actually still do that. I'm not sure. Поздравление тебя с 1 сентября. Желаю тебе учиться на 4 и 5. Natasha. Okay, so I think that was his cousin, and she says, Happy 1st of September, which is the beginning of school. And I hope you learn for 4s and 5s, which in Russia, I think to even now, their grades are like 2, 3, 4, 5, I think. I don't even know if they have 1 or if it's really used, but that basically instead of like, A's, B's, C's, it's 5, 4, 3, 2, with 5 being like an A and 2 being like an F. I don't know, maybe 1 is an F. I generally see. I don't remember really hearing about ones when I was, younger. When I went to Russian school. Okay, what does this say? What does this say? It says like a receipt. It says рецепт. Взрослый детский. Ненужные. So this is like, I think this is a doctor's note actually. Maybe for missing school. It's so cool. What's here? I already looked at these photos. Okay. Moving on. I feel like I need a stretch break. Oh my god. My legs right now. Okay. Шелец. See, look, it says Moscow, USSR. Moskva. Yeah. From Sergei. USA 25, USA 25, see what's up. I don't know what is in here. I wonder if it's really his makeup. So it's like a very long letter. This was written in 1990. So it took me way too long to really understand who's this from. just want to know what it's about, like why it was special enough to keep. And also, if it was sent from the US, like who do they know? I think they immigrated to the US when it was like 1982 or something like that. My dad was 12, so around then. So I guess this would be like, you know, possibly before then. So who do they know? Очень надеюсь, что тебе классно. Yeah, I'm gonna read this later in depth and try to really like analyze the handwriting because it's just cursive is hard for me. I'm sorry, guys. I feel like I'm letting you down. Oh, I got to an update on like reading all this stuff and understanding what it said. Let me put it back in the envelope. But I mean, I just think it's so cool how it literally says Moscow, USSR. Like, holding, you know, I am just too fascinated by dystopias. Or utopias. Dystopias masquerading with utopias. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is like relatives. I don't know which ones. Just to say. Mama и папа, с днём вашей свадьбы. This is like, from the year 88, so my dad was 9. My dad is congratulating them on their anniversary. And a little card. This paper is so interesting. It's like the thinnest paper, but that does have its paper in it. This is the end. This says, I think it's like the date was made. So 1803. I'm assuming that is not true. Probably like copyrighted company. Okay, well, I hope you guys enjoyed. And let me know if you want me to do something more like this. There's a lot of photo albums from a lot of times in my grandma's house. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope that this sounds good, because like I have no idea, you know. Sometimes like I feel like when I'm doing these talking videos, especially with my actual voice, I like forget that I'm making